allowing dual credit to count towards graduation. White's dual credit plan was also developed in consultation with Bismarck State College advisor, to align with his career in agriculture. The English 110, Com 110 sequence fulfills the NDUS communication requirement and supports strong academic skill building. This is not a request for less, it's a comprehensive, forward-looking plan reflecting academic rigor, innovation, and career alignment. We respectfully ask the board to approve this plan tonight.
Okay, before I turn this to so we can't use his name. Are you giving us permission to say his name tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So just so you're aware of that, we're not allowed to do that.
Right.
So if you're giving us permission in our discussion, we can say his name. So I'm going to let Mr. Loff go first.
So I dug a little bit into this, and I met with the leases a little bit, and that was fairly early on when I was here. From the first couple of weeks I was here, yes. We discussed it, and you know, in visiting with them, and that was before I talked to Mr. Haas about it in any great length. My initial response was, I'm not sure why that couldn't qualify as your high school. So in the meantime, I've done a little bit of research, and I've visited with some colleagues around the state. Looking at North Dakota Century Code Chapter 15.1-25, it's fairly short in terms of what the content is. I'll read to you the first and second statutes that go along with that. So 15.1-25-01, Post-Secondary Enrollment Options Program. Any North Dakota student enrolled in grade 10, 11, or 12 in a public high school is eligible to receive high school and post-secondary credit for the successful completion of an academic course offered by any post-secondary institution accredited by a regional accrediting organization, or a career and technical education course offered by a post-secondary institution in a program accredited by a national or regional accrediting organization recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. Okay. 15.1-25-02, permission to enroll, notification, and credits. Before enrolling in a course for credit under this chapter, the student must obtain written permission from the student's school district superintendent. The student's school district superintendent shall determine the number of credits for which the student is eligible and shall include the number of credits on the document granting permission required by this section. For purposes of determining credit, a 3-semester hour course offered by a post-secondary institution is equivalent to a full semester high school course. Upon the student's successful completion of the course, the post-secondary institution shall notify the student's school district superintendent of that fact. That's the statute specifically that makes me a little bit concerned, because I don't have any documentation, nor did Mr. Lukens or Dr. Lukens indicate in any way, shape, or form that he provided written permission to.
He's got the documentation, but you don't.
I don't have a copy of those though, so
okay.
I have to get those back.
Yep.
So that's also the early entrance one, not necessarily dual credit.
I didn't know this existed, sorry about that.
Okay.
My biggest concern with this, and take it with a grain of salt because I've been doing it for 6 weeks, but my biggest concern with this is knowing that we offer dual credit English in-house, and we as a district know the quality of instruction that's being done through that avenue. Obviously, not knocking anything that Lake Region State College, but that's also something that's out of our control, what they're exactly taught during that
Can I make a response to his comment?
Certainly.
You know, if you have a kid transfer in here from another school, you have no clue what their previous is, so that's really irrelevant. Really what this gets down to is, the reason we were told that people wouldn't accept it was staff. What are we here for? Are we here for the staff or the students? I mean, this is a service industry for the students. I'm a customer. That's what we're here for. We're here for students to excel, do well. My son decided he wanted to do this on his own during the summer. To put him in a lesser class would be ridiculous. He passed this course, the English 110. To put him in senior English now, after he's passed the course, we got kind of jerked around trying to go through stuff. With administration, obviously with changing of the superintendent, caused some issues. So you can't deny us that we haven't tried, because we've been meeting since April with administration. Again, he passed the course. We've visited extensively with Bismarck State College, Lake Region State College, and they all said the trouble with the small schools is they're not promoting and pushing the dual credit. We need more out of these smaller schools. This shouldn't be a hard decision because we have one teacher. We're here for the students.
Thanks, thank you. Anything else?
Nope. I don't think I have anything else to say right now.
I gotta have what the order of the board wishes done.
I don't know what.
Those forms that have Dr. Lukens' signature on.
I think they're asking you to accept his
I'm gonna make a motion to approve this so we can talk about it.
okay, that's what I was hoping. Okay, can I have a second? Okay, probably move in second that you're saying accepting their request is what you're saying. Okay, all right, so that's a discussion on the floor. Let's have some discussion.
I just wanna say about, the fact that we go through, or we have it in our school, and we go through Lake Region, all those things. I was very recently told that there's a student who is being told that she should retake her math class that she already took dual credit because she won't get points from Lake Region to go into her field of study. We have to do what's best for the kids.
Student, but I mean,
It is a different
no,
student,
but I mean,
but
they're, are they, like, they're going to a different school
they're
then?
not going to Lake Region, they're going to a different school in the state. But to get points to get into the program they're going into, they won't give them a point for that course.
So that, for example, that's NDSU rejecting Lake Region's curriculum as, for example, not saying that this is the case. Because they want a specific course to go with. And that's what I'll say on behalf of this. There's two things that have been coming up with discussions. One of them that we're starting to see is students taking dual credit when they go to a trade school such as BSC, Loff, and Lake Region. The way that Lake Region and BSC are structured, if they take certain courses, they only offer certain courses certain times of the year. So they're not able to fill their schedule to meet financial aid. So now the advisors are finding random courses to get these students so they can apply for financial aid for their college. So it's making some of these students have difficult choices or taking classes that are costing them money that they don't need to. The other piece that happens with this, and we tell our kids, for example, we do our statistics class and kids are like, well, I have to take statistics. We bring up the course catalog. How does this fit? Contact your advisor. Will this work? It might not cover the statistics class, like if you're going into, say you're going into agronomy, but it will still cover towards your credits as an elective. So those are pieces that when I advise students on their dual credit, that we look at and we get in contact and we start having conversations with the colleges, so we're not taking unnecessary courses or courses that don't help them in the long run. Because yeah, the courses will transfer. Lake Region assures us when you do it, they'll transfer anywhere. But in this case, it doesn't count towards this specific program because they have their needs. So it's not a problem of how we offer it. It's NDSU saying we want you to take this.
And I'm not saying it's not deemed to be employed,
Right.
but that doesn't matter. I mean,
Right.
you know,
I get it, because maybe a certain course of study is very specific.
I just wanted to clarify, it's not something we're doing wrong within the school. It is a university making this choice on what they're doing. So I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, any more discussion?
So, okay, so I understand that this was signed then.
He's already taken the class, right?
Right, but I mean, like, those were signed then, so the permission was given. Essentially.
Can I, so we didn't know about the 6 classes, and so when that discussion happened, then we went back and Dr. Lukens suggested NDCDE because we pulled up the course catalog for Harvey, and in line with his career goals, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Free, but he's taken everything in ag. But like,
No, there's
For-
like 3 in Ag Mech 1 this year, which are different than what he took last year.
he's
He's
assigned
in
for,
Ag Mech 1 now, but there's
Yeah.
still like 3 to take.
okay, so, when he visited with, me about it, he suggested looking into, because Wyatt wants to do vet science, he wants to do like a minor in veterinary science, for whatever it is through, ESC, and so he had suggested going through NDCDE, and so that's where the conversation kind of, differed, and that's what happened then.
I got a question. How about, just say if your son just transferred here this year and you have his class, how would they look at it then? If he just came from a different school and this was his first year in high school and he had this class under his belt.
So you, if I understand right, say hypothetically, he was coming in new to the school district this year as a senior, but had just completed this Comp 110 class. That class would have had to have been signed off by the previous superintendent or designee.
What if he was homeschooled? What if he was homeschooled in your scenario?
Totally different.
But he came in, I mean.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still, you still can.
So you would get a transcript from the other school, but what does it read, or?
So if it would come from another school, it would come as dual credit. If it went on to their transcript as dual credit, it would have been approved by the superintendent. Is what it would have been. Every student that does college level courses, whether it's our in-house English 110, 120, or if it's a college speech that they take, the college requires a notification of the school that we approve their student that they're ready for this. And that is either early entrance or dual credit. It's the exact same form. So when we have our kids come in, I make sure they know this is college credit. It's not dual credit because these are the ones that we accept as dual credit. Because we have, I bet Misty and I have all of our kids that are in English 110 and Math 103 this year have all those forms that are signed as well. Those are dual credit. The kids that are taking like college social, college psych, they're the exact same document signed, but they know that they're not getting dual credit. They're allowed into early college exempt entrance.
Right,
So,
but nothing for.
so what this document is saying is that we are accepting this piece as a dual credit to count as college and high school credit.
The document that was signed.
Well, it would have to be specified on there as dual credit.
What does it say?
It's at the top, it says early college entrance and dual credit, it's the Lake Region registration form. I'm guessing, I
That's what
didn't
it
see it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the exact same form we have, that they send to every student, whether a junior student's taking it online on their own, they have us sign and approve that this student.
So then how do we know which one it is?
That's why we have it in our course book in the policies of what we offer for dual credit through the school. Which is our 110, 120, our college eligible, our college staff.
Cause that's what I was just curious, but how do we know which one that one was?
Right.
And I'm just trying to understand.
Not an easy solution here. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? So the motion is, they are asking us to accept all of their, things that he's taken for his plan, and that she read them. Does everybody understand that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. We will accept what they are asking for. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on. Open enrollment application. Okay, so the first one, remember we can't say names here. So the first application, just so you are clear of what that is and you do your thing. We have someone that is enrolled, that is that lives in Harvey, that was attending a neighbor school. Now they want to attend a different neighbor school. Okay, so that's the one. So all we are is, we're kind of in the middle. We're just saying, they're back to us, but now they're back to us. Now we're going to another school. Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor? Remember, we can't discuss this. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, this was handed one from Mr. Loff. We have a open request from a student to open enroll in our school. And again, I can't say names, so I would accept a motion to allow this student to come to our school. Again, I can't say names.
I'll make a motion to accept this.
Okay, second? Second?
Yeah.
Okay, probably moving second to accept this, application. All in favor? Again, I can't discuss. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, then we have a tuition agreement. Okay, then we have a tuition agreement that was in your packet, which, want to explain that to me, Mr. Roth?
We had one similar to this, that we had in the July meeting.
Yep.
Essentially, a student, will be taking courses through a different program. It's a tuition agreement that costs our school district nothing. It's essentially in lieu of homeschool type thing.
Okay, second? Properly moved, and again, we can have discussion, so all in favor, please say aye. Okay, all right, then we're gonna go to home lunch seconds.
So the discussion with hot lunch seconds, something that we talked about actually early on when I came here. We had every student, whether they qualify for free or reduced lunch or pay full lunch price, obviously gets their first meal. The concern being with a lot of students who either were behind in or families that were behind in their hot lunch payments, etc., were still coming back for seconds, and then some of those accounts were going in the red pretty substantially. So basically the question is, or the discussion I think we need to open up is, once families get a certain point in the hole for their lunch bill, do we still allow them to take seconds? Because by law, I don't believe we're required to, because they're still being fed in that first. It's just, I think we should have some sort of guidance from the board to determine how we want to deal with that moving forward.
Where's your recommendation?
I would recommend, when families' lunch balances get in the red by more than $10, then you tell their that fund is replenished and they do not have the opportunity for second.
But they still get their meal,
Yes.
still have free access to the
Yep.
salad bar.
Yep.
Everything, I think just have as much salad and vegetables
Yeah,
Definitely.
and everything as
so,
they
I mean,
possibly
we're not denying them a meal here.
No, not at all.
Everybody understand that? It's like, we're not being, I just think there has to be a point where responsibility comes into, so,
Because I think,
go ahead. Let's act on his recommendation.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. Okay, I make a motion to accept his recommendation.
Is there a second? A second? Okay, and his recommendation is $10 in the hole
Or more.
or more, and you will not be allowed to have seconds, but you'll get your meal, free access to salad bar, and, but, okay, discussion.
I think when, I guess when I heard them talking about it, whatever, I asked them, and we had checked, I think what some of them do, some places, is that obviously you know, you don't say anything to the student when they come through, everybody gets there first, and then they wanna go back for second, because there's some of the schools, which is really that then they went. And whoever your treasurer, your lunch lady, or whatever you wanna call them, that's, they go over and then check to make sure, and then what they did is if they're getting a second from some schools, what they do is they would give you the bulk, because it's just the protein. You can go back and get as many vegetables and everything as you want, then they would go through, and then that way when they went through the cooks knew that, okay, you're okay, so you can have your second. That way the kid didn't go through and, you know, is embarrassed with their plate and come out or whatever, they just would go and check. And I didn't even know until they were talking about it, it was like over $2,500. That.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Looking at fall.
Okay.
I don't think it's talking
It
about
actually
seconds.
kind of does.
About seconds?
Not exactly, but a student with a negative meal balance is prohibited from charging a la carte or extra items. Already there.
Already there. I think we're adding teeth to it by passing this.
No specific dollar amount, we can do specific dollar amount.
Yeah, I think we're adding teeth by passing this motion. Okay, all right, so it's already in the handbook, in policy.
Yep.
No more discussion?
You don't need specific dollar amounts in the policy.
No, I don't think so.
Right, yeah,
Because
just roll.
if you have a specific dollar amount in the policy, anytime you decide you want to change that, then you have to go through and change the
Right,
policy.
yeah, so it's okay to keep the word in there, but then add this motion to make that dollar amount, so that the staff knows.
Okay, all those, any more discussion? All those in favor then of, the policy, we're gonna reinforce the policy and say that there will be no seconds if you have a negative balance of -10 or more, but you're still gonna get the meal in, all the salad bar. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, now we're gonna go to this music thing, you know, and I was like, I thought the music, I thought we, but I guess maybe we didn't accept this music teacher.
I'm quite certain, because every time we talked about it, it was in the works, and I actually didn't know his name until it landed on the,
Budget?
well, on the,
Oh, that high school handbook,
yeah.
I read, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's his name, and I think I would have known that if we had approved it, so.
Well, let's
I
have a
think we
motion.
They did, or gave them the go ahead to do it.
Yeah, we did.
But-
Yep.
But it's okay to do this.
Yep, let's have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we, hire Franz Guzman, depending that he gets all of his accreditation from North Dakota, from DPI and the SUV board and whatever.
Based on, is there a second? Okay, discussion. Okay, all those in favor then of accepting this music teacher based on, meeting all these accreditations, which is taking forever?
Yeah.
Please say aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, now we're gonna go to the fun stuff. I'll go to the policies. You may be excused, mister, and go through your school business, I think.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Sweet taco.
Okay, so the students are gonna go through each of these policies one by one.
I close it for first reading.
Okay, so,
I mean, what do you think, right, Vanessa, isn't that what you would say?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start then. Remember, the key to this would be, we'll have to have a motion and a second, and then you get to accept it, and then we'll talk about it. All right. Yeah, second, okay. Any discussion on ABEA wellness policy?
I'm okay with how, I guess what the changes that we made, that you guys, we took, you know, we highlighted what we put in there and then stuck out what we want. And there wasn't much in this, and we kind of tried to keep it more generic so they didn't use like the one page that we wanted to list specific programs, because it can change or whatever.
That being said, this is a good time to have a conversation about a couple things, including the fact that this says we need a district wellness committee, so we should really talk about who that should be. It's a board committee, it says.
And, I'm just saying that, can that be, it all falls under policy. Would we do it now, or would we have to add something at the end to have the discussion?
I don't know,
I'm
I
just
started
asking.
writing down the recommendations of who all has to be on it, you know, some of those extra.
So are you saying maybe we should then make this an agenda item for next meeting, is that what I'm trying to misunderstand?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we're trying to follow parliamentary procedure properly, I think that discussion point needs to take place.
I would like that, because I did start writing down, going through the, like, who do they say should all be on it and what they're doing or whatever, so I'd be okay with it.
So do you wanna do that in policy committee or at the next meeting?
I think that should probably come from all of us, because if we're gonna form a committee, yeah, so I'm okay with waiting to do that part of it until the next meeting.
So on the next meeting agenda, we should have this.
Right, and that'll have to show up not on the policy, but it'll show up on,
Yeah.
Right.
it'll have to show up on items for discussion.
Here
You'll have
until
to show up on
we
your
start.
item.
Already started.
It'll have to show up right under the discussion at the next meeting. Okay, so,
Another thing to discuss about this, and we did mention this in the policy meeting, but we did cross off the optional, the district shall serve whole milk, because the reason we crossed off is because it says bulk milk dispenser, which we clearly don't have. But I am really hopeful that we do get whole milk into our schools.
Isn't that something that we could just ask for? Or something about?
I think.
I mean, I don't think we have to really, I mean, that's something we could just check into, I mean.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
okay, so we're not passing this then.
So we can pass it out.
It would be the committee that would deal with at the next meeting.
Okay,
not
so-
the policy.
All in favor of the first reading of this, please say aye. Okay, opposed? All right, next one, the smart snacks.
I make a motion to pass the first read ABEA-AR.
Second? Okay, discussion.
We didn't see anything to change or add or whatever.
Okay,
This is just USDA.
Yeah, kind of a recommendation.
okay, all in favor of this first reading, please say aye. Motion passed. Okay, the next one is emergency medication check-in form.
I'll make a little motion to. AR3 only needs one motion. Administrative regulations and things like that don't need to have seconds.
So let's just,
First and second reading.
Yeah, so that one was first and second, the ABEA-AR3.
That was your motion, first and
Yeah,
second.
we only
reading.
need,
it's just passed.
yeah, it's just passed, you don't even do a
It
first.
just doesn't have to come
Yeah,
back.
so that one will just,
Regulation.
we'll just have them say that.
Okay, any discussion on this form? It's pretty self-explanatory.
Right, and then this one also too, since it's an exhibit, this one would just be, I make a motion to pass ACBD-E4.
Okay, discussion. All in favor of emergency, of passing this? Please say aye. Aye. And this will not show up in our next one. Okay. Now, next one would be ACCB, which is, student victims.
I'll make a motion to do it for the first reading of ACCB.
Second? Bradley second, who second? Bradley second? Okay, you got it? Gonna have names go for
They
continue.
just write somebody's stuff.
Gonna have names for exactly. Okay. Zane. No long meeting. Okay. So, we get that discussion on ACCB.
The only thing that we had a chance to fix on that I said I think was a scheduled review and we just said annual on there. Which is not necessarily adjustments or whatever. That was the only thing we needed.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor then of ACCB first reading, please say aye. And the next one is BBA, School Board Elections and Terms of Office.
Make a motion to approve first reading of BBA. And we kind of did like what some of you guys had wanted, we liked about, okay, I'm sorry. We liked the idea that there was a place that would actually describe each area. So we decided to keep a lot of the stuff that was the whole top up here that was highlighted. This is what was in the old policy, the old version of it. So that was nice to have a place that had that.
That's what the 3 areas, 4 areas are.
Yeah, and then the only other thing is that there was different options of how you want to say what day the election is, and we just said that to make it easiest was the annual election shall be held on the second Tuesday of June each year unless otherwise scheduled by the board or filling the vacancy. That's how we had worded it in the old one.
Discussion?
The one thing to keep in mind with this, and I like seeing the areas described in here, and I don't even know if it's a possibility, but if at some point in time there is land that is annexed into our school district that does not fall into one of these geographical areas, and you have to go back and change this policy,
Right.
agree with that, just so you guys are aware.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, that passes for the first reading. The next one, BBA, E1, election letter notice.
I will make a motion, and this one is just to pass, what's it, exhibit, BBA-E1.
First reading,
This is an exhibit, so we're just passing this one.
Okay. Another one. All right. Motion to pass. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, James? All right.
This one that we did, I mean, Big Zane did actually write letters or whatever you do, but this one just, I thought for anybody knew whether you're the business standard coming in, it kind of nice to have a form of how you should word things when you mail it out, so we just kept it as it is and you fill in the correct information.
But before we go on with this, I was talking to somebody about this policy. And they pointed out to me because in terms of where it says, that does it not say after they get this in the mail, they have so many days. And how on earth will they know when that is?
I think they put it in here. You put in a date of the end of our meeting, I've seen it in here that you would actually put in, like they sign their, oath of office.
Where's that at?
Oh. Within 10 days of the receipt of this letter and before commencing board duties, how on earth would you know when they get this letter?
Certified. Semi-certified.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a safeguard essentially.
Right.
Right.
So should we put in here that it needs to be so certified?
Up here, so we get on the top paragraph, all letters, the last sentence, say this certified letter. Can we just add that there?
I just think that's a simple safeguard because
Right.
the predictability with the mail service is.
100%.
And I think our common practice has also been this thing called, you know, we'll call them and say, we would have 10 minutes to do this, but still,
So
we need to send a letter.
we're passing this without a second reading.
Right, this is.
So I'm gonna be about to ask.
I make a motion that we add the word certified at the last sentence of the first paragraph between this and letters.
Thank you. Your second?
I second it.
Okay, all of it, any discussion on the amendment? That we add the word certified at the end of. the end of the letter, yeah, got it? Okay,
We are
all in favor, please say aye.
Uh,
Okay, now we'll go back, discussion on the election letter notice with amendment, discussion. All in favor of this letter, as amended, please say aye. Okay, now we're gonna go to the next one, which probably is gonna be a little bit of discussion, maybe, and this is our board meeting agenda.
I'll make a motion to pass first reading of DCA.
Okay, is there a second?
Yes.
Vanessa second. Okay, now let's have discussion. And I think the one thing up here that, we kept talking about, and that everybody points to, is that, the item, you have to let the superintendent know 5 days prior to the board meeting, is that right?
You can do whatever you want.
But I know we've talked about this, what it should be, and how many days.
I just worry that that's so, I mean, not that I want it to be 2 weeks or nothing, I was thinking maybe at least like 7 days, because.
I wouldn't go less than 5.
No, I was thinking actually like 7, because I just thought if they need to get some information and add on it, because right now, look at how, we didn't get this one because there was so much going on. Well, this could mean on a Friday night, someone could get it added, and then over the weekend, you're supposed to, find the information, getting, so then again, our packets might be out already by that time. I don't know, that's just why I was thinking, and I don't wanna go a long time, I don't wanna say like 14 days, I was just thinking, would you like it to be 7 days, so that way you have a week, because otherwise, I
How
copy
about
days.
6?
Oh, but I just thought I don't want packets coming out.
Because the reason I say that is because you have a good point about Friday late, but, things come up as well.
Oh, I get that, that's why I don't wanna go so long, I just thought, give him some time, if he has to really look something up and get some information, we might not get packets on Friday, even at 6 days. I mean, if someone asked on a Thursday night, I don't know, that's just, whatever, I just felt like 5 was too soon in order to get everything ready. A lot of times we're gonna have our packets by that time. But you can always change the agenda, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming up down here, but,
Yeah.
so, am I hearing an amendment, or am I hearing the 5, or am I hearing?
Well, this isn't. This is just.
We can just change this without amendment because it's the first reading?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so am I hearing 6? I'm hearing
okay with
6.
that.
Everybody okay with 6? Okay, and if you go to the next part then, somebody could come up and add to the agenda, and technically you need a 2/3 majority to do that. 2/3 of the vote have to agree to
Well, it
add to
could
the
be,
agenda.
it could be 2/3 or it can be a majority. Most times.
With a consent of 2/3 majority, it says in your, right here.
Right, but we don't have.
You don't have to have the word
say
2/3.
majority.
Oh.
That's our choice.
It could be 2/3 or it could be.
Or,
What do you want?
I mean, we I guess about 2/3 and the rest of you feel differently, then we can choose.
Whichever one you want.
I think it should, I would stick with the 2/3, not
Okay,
sure.
that's okay, then we'll cross out majority.
Okay, any discussion on the order of business?
My only thing on that is, well, 2 things. I like the old businesses and new business, we kind of don't do that.
Yep.
And the other thing is under communications, I think that if we have a committee report, that should be there as well. That's not listed, but
You're right, 100%.
Okay, so we're adding committee reports to number 6. Okay? Anything else?
We just kind of, same thing, we went through the old version and kind of,
Yeah.
and it's kind of about what we do, it's just maybe something to call it in different. but that's-
Public comment in there. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, all those in, any more discussion? Discussion? All those in favor of accepting this one? This is first reading. Who's that? Opposed? Okay, so that was signed on the first reading, and with those 2 changes, then we'll come up. All right, let's talk about, the next one would be the signing bonuses. DCCA.
I know you want a motion first, but this is one that we didn't even know if we wanted or not. So
Well, we were gonna bring this to the August 4th meeting, actually, is what I have written down.
Oh, I guess I just thought we were agreeing with it. I don't know how, if you wanna make a motion, because
Okay, so
we didn't even know if this is something we want or don't
how
want.
about we do add this to our next meeting,
Okay,
and we'll discuss that at the next meeting.
yeah.
So we'll
If
put
you
it,
guys wanna look at it and think about it,
We'll put
because
this
it's
as
just a
another-
recommended one, it's not a
right,
requirement.
this is another one we're gonna put under, discussion of possible actions on the signing bonus. Okay, and we'll make a decision tonight. Is it good? Okay, I need no motion then. Okay, then we'll put this on. Okay, military leave.
Yeah, I'll make
Okay.
a motion to pass the first reading of DDCD.
Second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Okay, then we'll go to number 10. This is FCCA, student facilities.
I think a motion to accept first reading of FCAA.
Okay? Second? Kind of a tricky topic in a lot of schools.
I think the biggest thing that we did to this one is we added rescue and healer. I think it's just highlighted once, but we added it a few different places or whatever, because that might also be something that they would need in an emergency, not just an EpiPen or whatever.
There are a lot of schools that are peanut free or not free. We are not one of
We're
them.
lucky we have had to yet, but yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll deal with that when it comes.
Yeah,
All right, any more discussion?
yeah, the only other thing is I just seen last week, we could either pick up it was going to be, and there's a principal or school administrator, we thought the principal, they should be the ones that are.
Absolutely.
The biggest thing is because technically with our old policies, they can't be arrested. So this makes it so they can, that's really what this is.
Which is a no-brainer.
Exactly.
When it's something that emergent.
Okay, all right, and then I think the principals are the ones that
Yes.
would have the pulse of the school, so, okay? Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor of accepting, FCAA on first reading, please say aye. Okay, then we'll go to, FCAA/AR.
And this is another regulation, so I will make a motion to pass FCAA-AR.
Okay, motion passed, is there a second?
And this one to, add a rescue inhaler, under 7, it said something about, we will be, I think had to be, we just said will be encouraged, and then also too that we will advise students not to be sharing heating utensils.
Okay. All right,
This one just needs to be.
this one needs to be passed, is there any more discussion? All those in favor of passing FCAA/AR as a policy, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we'll go to 12, FF, student contact and discipline.
I'll make a motion to pass the first reading of policy FF.
Okay, is there a second? And, okay, discussion.
The only thing you can see in the second page is that we just thought to get reported, same thing there, also we thought it should be the principal, because, like we said, they're the ones in the building.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor then of accepting FF, student conduct and discipline on first reading, please say aye. Okay, opposed, motion, this will pass on the first reading, come again next month. Okay, possessing weapons.
I'll make a motion to pass the first reading of policy FF.
Second? Okay. Vanessa, any discussion?
Anything for us to
No,
change
it's all
for
pretty much
that?
laid there?
That was
Okay.
an easy one.
Discussion, all in favor, please say aye. Okay, next one, FFE extracurricular participation requirements.
I'll make a motion to pass the first reading policy FFE.
Okay, second? All right, Bradley? Okay, we got some yellows here, so we want to talk about anything, or?
Well, the second page, when they talk about her academics, we wanted to make sure it matched what the high school had, so we took the words low, because they had something about failing, oh, they had, I'm not sure how they were, but we had it to match ours, where it said lower than 69.5%.
Is that percentage correct, Kelly? 69.5 technically is still a D minus, right?
It just said, yeah, it's lower than.
Right, I just want to
Yeah,
confirm that is.
69.5 is passing,
So
69.49.
Okay, so this specifically says lower than that.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there was some optionals here, and then I did, by the way, I did let Kelly look at this and make sure that this was matching us to what he had or whatever and things in there. So then some of the things that we had option is the ones that we kept. Like the next one, under violation of other misconduct policies on the second page. That was another thing that we made sure that matched up with what we had here. So we said up to 6 consecutive weeks, and then we also added that if occurring within 18 weeks of the previous offense. That would match ours.
On the top of that page on option 1, instead of saying that students are encouraged to practice, we said they may be allowed, it's up to the discretion of their coach who may discourage them. It's whether or not they want them to be there, let them decide. I do want to go back to the first page, even though none of that is yellow. This optional tobacco, alcohol, and other drug use just still, I don't know. Again, I was talking to somebody about this. And they said with the use of AI, or not AI, but
I know what you're saying.
putting people in
Yep.
pictures. Between that and what we discussed at length about the example I used, if my kid is at his sister's wedding, there's people there illegally using alcohol. Honestly, I'd kind of like to take that paragraph out.
It is a very slippery slope, and it's really open to interpretation.
I don't know the ramifications of taking that paragraph out, but I would kind of like it out.
Well, and I know we've looked through it
I know.
and we've had the discussion. No, it's okay. I mean,
My only thing is I just thought that we kind of do, don't you kind of say before that we kind of do give a little bit of discretion because that's.
oh yeah, definitely.
Like in that case, I mean,
But
there's.
I never thought about the ability of people to just put somebody's.
Photoshop?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, that's.
Yeah, the gist of this whole thing is talking about where it's being illegally. So like at a wedding reception, at a community event, if they're in the picture and there's people in the back, that's not illegally being used. What this is doing is underage, things like that. The problem is if you take out, because here's what happens. Say somebody turns in Mike, well, how do you know he was doing it? Well, we can't accept the photo. Well, then you're just going off hearsay.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can remove that photo part. I mean, there's ways to, like I think you need that piece of evidence in your chain to do anything. Because otherwise, if you're saying you can't accept photos, how are you going to prove that Mike was there? Because you can't accept the photo, you're taking a student's word for it who's underage, and I say it's a vendetta, and you've got to have some sort of backing you can have there. Obviously, like, if it was brought to us and they're like, I wasn't there, this is AI, like, we're not going to do anything until we do our due diligence to go through and do a thorough investigation.
And you have avenues to examine.
I'm not sure I do or not.
I'm just
Well,
asking.
I mean, basically it's going to, you have a photo to start with to be like, okay, these are the other people that are in the photo. Is this real? Were they there? Were they not there? Things of that nature. I don't know if there's anything through the state that you could have. I mean, they always authenticate photos and things like that. If you can send the file and say, okay, can you authenticate this is real or is this been manipulated? I mean, as a school, I don't have that and I don't want them to do that.
Well, I don't think we have anybody in our school that does that capability.
But I think if you take that photo thing out, you are, I mean,
I
then more.
Then you may as
understand
well,
that. I
yeah, then you may
understand
as well
what you're
scratch the entire piece.
Yeah. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I know if somebody came and got it, we're not just gonna say, yeah, you're in the photo, it is what it is. We're obviously
It
gonna
would definitely,
investigate every
it
claim.
would be the circumstances of where they're at, like you
Right.
said, whether it's a party or someplace or if you're at.
So based on this discussion, though, this is part of what leads me back to this, is that when this happened prior, it was just sent to state activities and associations, and we can't do anything about it, and that's all it was. When a situation like this came up, and there was a student that was, a few students that were not eligible because of a picture that was turned in, and it was, the administrator just sent it to the activities association, said there's nothing we can do, they're out.
Well, I think we've got all new administration in place at this point.
Okay, so.
But I think
that's
that,
fine.
but I think that one supposedly
Okay.
was at a party out in the country, and that was like a wedding dance. It was actually,
The key that saves you here is that where it's being illegally used.
Right.
I mean, the whole intent is underage or not licensed.
Well,
So,
that's, I mean, that helps me,
yeah.
because I don't,
Right, because we all know, like our culture and stuff, there's gonna be kids and pictures with people drinking in the background if you're at a wedding reception, something like that. And that's not an illegal use of it, that's legally proposed. I just,
the only thing that I see that in there, about the first sentence down, we have a choice to pick between building principal, superintendent. I think we should put building principal, right? So take into consideration, because you're the one that's gonna be able to find out and see, you know.
well, I think between building principal, athletic director, I mean, you're administrator.
Should we put building principal and superintendent and the AD? Or do you want to look at, it's in that optional one, it's like the third sentence maybe. The building principal, superintendent should take into consideration of these students.
I would say administration.
administrators,
Okay,
administrators plural or administration, so that.
yeah, just administration, yeah.
Okay, make that change.
Uh,
Where is that?
and the first page,
First page, optional tobacco, alcohol, and other drug use.
Okay, any more discussion on this policy? First reading. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor then, of accepting this as your first reading for FFE, extracurricular, please say aye. Opposed? Okay, this will pass on first reading. Okay, so our next one is FFPA suspension and
we'll make a motion to pass for first reading policy FFPA.
second? Second. James, okay. Discussion.
I think there was only a couple spots that we didn't really pick, whether some of them were like between. On the first page, you see highlighted, a student who violates the district weapons policy must be expelled for at least 1 year, but the superintendent may modify the expulsion on a case-by-case basis. We can pick superintendent or principal. What do you think? We got superintendent, but it's according to policy, so. No,
I'm assuming you guys picked superintendent for a reason,
I think,
and I think I would,
I think that one was fine.
I think I would have to agree with that the law should stop with him. And not that he can't get recommendations from his principal.
Right.
Right.
I think the buck should stop with him.
We wanted the superintendent to do the hearing, so that then the, comes to the.
Right.
Okay. All right, any more discussion on this? Any more discussion? Any no further discussion, all in favor then of accepting FFK on first reading, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to FFK/VR.
Okay, so this is a regulation, so I will make a motion to pass FFK VR.
Is there a second to pass? James, okay. Probably moved in second that we pass this motion on suspension. Any discussion?
Again, we said the authority to whether the student shall be suspended rest with the principal. And then
We added that bill specifically.
building principal,
Yes.
yes. Yep. And then it goes through all the whole procedure. And then the only other thing is we said,
Hearing officer.
hearing officer shall, not hearing officer should.
Okay. Any more discussion? Discussion? Discussion. All in favor of accepting this policy now? FFKBR is the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Yeah. All right, now we're gonna go on to GABE.
Make a motion to pass the first reading on GABE.
Second?
Second.
Properly moved second that we pass GABE.
We decided to take the option.
Except that we didn't want to put in a name of an organization because we don't have any specific organization and
Right, yeah, right above, we just said, yeah, another organization.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor, Ben? Of GABE first reading, say aye. Okay, opposed? Motion passed. Okay, GACA, virtual instruction.
Make a motion to pass the first reading policy GACA.
Okay, this is a motion. First reading, second?
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Wasn't much, I mean, obviously, it's very interesting, whatever that's up here. I think we added limitations and exceptions may apply, we put that on that first page, if you can see below that, because they kind of went into some, if you want to put all the following limitations, then we just kind of thought, let's not be real specific.
yeah, we crossed off all their.
So we just say that some limitations and exceptions may apply. So that way they can have a little bit of discretion as far as purpose for instruction.
And I think by doing that, you're giving both teaching staff and building principal the autonomy to decide, you know, if they can sit down and just say, have a little discussion saying, you think this kid's ready for this coursework? By crossing that off, they have the ability to do that.
And if it looks like we already passed this, we did just recently, they're just updating it for law.
Right. And that's really why we asked in the back page, when we put down there too, unless approved by the building principal. And then the only other thing is that the grade will be recorded, and then we did that, like how we had it by high school, on the student's transcript. Not determining the GPA.
All right, any more discussion? Discussion? All in favor then of accepting GACA on first reading, please say aye. Aye. And motion passed. Okay, then we're gonna go to GACB.
I'll make a motion to pass first reading for GACB.
Okay, second? Patriotic exercises? Any discussion?
The only thing you can see there is we just crossed off when it says students may leave campus designated time. But we're not gonna do that. What if there's a, you know, maybe the history teacher's taking them all there at one certain time, or maybe they are leaving at different times, and we didn't want to designate only one time of the day. It depends upon their classes that they are in and different things like that. So we kind of left it a little bit open there.
That's what we're going to vote, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other, discussion? All those in favor then of accepting GACB on first reading, please say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Okay, last one. GACE.
Make a motion to pass first reading for GACB.
Second.
This one wasn't much either. The very first thing, we picked that, we thought the guidance counselor and principal may meet with the student or the student's parents to determine whether the student should be permitted to pursue an option